The problem is, you think you have more time than you do. Time is the only commodity that we can't make more of. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. When it's gone, it's gone. So we have to make the best use of time. We all get the same 24 hours in a day. The question is, what are you doing with your time? The time is now. The time is now. Let's go. The time is now. Let's go. Some of your life is taken away. It's gone. The time is now. Let's go. The time is now. Let's go. The time is now. Right now. Some of your life is taken away. It's gone. Remember, time waits for no man. The world don't stop turning, so we can't stop working. You can't turn back the hands once it's gone. You have to learn to live with the regrets. What you should've did, what you could've did, but you can't get the time back. Like they say, time is not running out, but your time is. You can't stop the clock. All you can do is try to make the best use of the time. The time is now.
Sky's the limit, right? Like you preach a lot about this in your album. And so if there was no such thing as any limits, right? Money wasn't an issue, no bounds, just no issue. What is your ultimate mission in this lifetime? Your ultimate mission?
To help as many people as possible, to find the power that lies within, to end human suffering on a global scale. When I grew up and I saw family members and friends suffering, and we all focused on what we didn't have, and I just used to think it's got to be a better way. Like if we spend our whole life focusing on what we don't have and we always waiting to start living, we never really live, we just exist. I want us to truly start to live. So through my story, through my message, through my teachings, I want to affect as many people as I can.
Wow, powerful.
Listen, if you want to grow, you gotta get uncomfortable. Yeah, that's right. You gotta get up. You gotta get out of your comfort zone. Remember, the comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Yeah, it's time to step up and face them fears. Look them head on. Get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable. Become the best version of you. It's time to grow. That's all you can do. Get uncomfortable. Become the best version of you. It's time to grow. That's all you can do. Get uncomfortable. You have to embrace this journey of life. It's all about change. The only thing promised to you is that nothing will stay the same. So my name is Henry Kellum, and I want to talk to you all for a minute. The song that played when I came home is called Dirt Road to Rodeo. And people often hear me talking about Dirt Road to Rodeo, and they're like, what does that mean? Dirt Road to Rodeo is a shift of consciousness. When you think Dirt Road to Rodeo, I want you to think you have to change. So often we want to change our actions, but we have to actually change the thought behind the action because the thought precedes the action. So that's what Dirt Road to Rodeo means. When we came up with tonight, we was thinking about a theme, and we said we want to go from dark to light. And Dirt Road to Rodeo symbolizes going from dark to light. So I want to tell you a story about my childhood because it was a dark time for me. Can everybody hear me? So growing up, my father had 2 kids by one woman and 2 kids by my mother. He acknowledged that family and he didn't accept me and my brother. So not only did I not have a father as a child, I actually had to question myself and say, what about me is not good enough that my father doesn't accept me? So I spent the first half of my life trying to prove myself and to show, that I was good enough. And it was rough when we was young. And my mother, she never called me Henry. My father's name is Henry, so she never even wanted to hear the word Henry. So she was stressed out, and then she looked at me, and I looked like him, so she take her problems out on me. And we come from the South. As a matter of fact, I think I forgot my problem. Can I get something? Who ever heard of the paper bag test? Anybody ever heard of the paper bag test? No? So, in the South, it was a thing. The darker you are, and this is how we used to feel, the darker you are, the worse you had it, and that's just what it was. So it was a thing called a paper bag test. And if you was darker than a paper bag, you could not enter certain places. You could not be accepted into certain things. And of course, I'm darker than a paper bag, So I was always excluded, and that's one. I mean, that's one reason why my message is always unity, and it's about bringing people together. Because I was so hurt as a child, and hurt people hurt people. So until I was able to find the self love and to be able to love myself, then I kept on sabotaging different things because I had abandonment issues because my father left. So if you get too close to me, I feel like you're going to leave. So what would I do? I would push you away and before you leave because it would hurt me. So I operated from a place of hurt for so long. But dirt road to rodeo means changing the way I think about myself. I'm sorry. Okay, yes. In one instance, rodeo means you because the dirt road gave me a certain kind of consciousness and it was dark. And rodeo symbolizes a different kind of consciousness. Yes, there is Rodeo Drive. But that's why I wanted to spend the time with Layla the way I do and try to teach her. And the one thing I wanted her to know is that she was loved. Is because I grew up without that love and without that sense of love. So, thank you all for letting me tell my story. And if you see right here on the screen, it says the gangster mentality. And that's the brain. And the reason why I call my album The Gangster Mentality, even though gangster might have a negative connotation, I think about being in the war room. We go to war every day with the negative voices. We have to fight. So the gangster mentality is just a mindset. It's that we have to wake up every day and we have to choose positivity. Because if you know the way the brain works, it's inclined to worry. So we're going to get a lot of negative thoughts. But the brain can't focus on negativity and positivity at the same time. So you have to actually choose the positivity. You have to choose what it is you want to focus on. So you have to be gangster to stand up to that voice that says, what makes you think you're good enough? Who's going to listen to you? You don't have anything to offer. So that's why I say it's a mindset. So when I'm talking to the children, I say, listen, you want to know who one of the biggest gangsters is? It's Jack Canfield. So I put us on the screen, 70-year-old white man. They're like, he don't look gangster. And I'm like, you know the book, Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul? It took him 144 times to get the book published. He said if he'd have stopped at 100 no's, you wouldn't know who he is today. So my question is, how many no's will it take for you to stop chasing your dreams? Or will you be gangster on the 140th time to walk in here and be like, you know what, I got to get this done? Because he only took one person to say yes. Now Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul has sold billions of dollars around the world. So the gangster mentality, so I tell people, first of all, is perseverance. We got to keep going no matter what. And as a matter of fact, I said don't stop till the casket drop. And they're like, what do you mean? Every day we just got to keep going. And the Kabbalists say the same thing. We got to persevere. We got to persevere in our spiritual work so we don't stop till the casket drop. So perseverance. Another thing about the gangster mentality is consistency. We don't do what we feel like. We do what we committed to. How many days have we not felt like doing the thing that we know we needed to do, but we have to do it anyway? So I think about Thomas Edison when he was making the light bulb. He said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that didn't work, but I only had to find one way that works. And that's your job. Just find one way that works. So we got to be consistent and we got to show up to life every day with enthusiasm. And not only that, we got to have faith. We got to have faith to know that there's a divine plan. It's all going to work out whether I can see it or not. So like Martin Luther King said, I don't have to see the whole staircase in order to take the first step. But I have to take the first step and I have to have that faith. So when you see the album, The Gangster Mentality, that's what it's all about. Perseverance, consistency, and faith. And we got to keep going no matter what. Last thing I'm going to say is this. When you wake up early in the morning and right before you get ready to go to sleep, the door to the subconscious mind is open. So I use this album to plant seeds in the minds. This album is not for entertainment. This is more of a message to the soul because we feed the body, but how often do we actually feed our soul? So each song up here has been curated to actually touch you on a deeper level. So now I'm going to do my poem. The new one. You ready? Okay, so I just did this one, y'all, so let me focus. So I'm going to have a little fun with it, and I want to tell my story as I do this, and my goal is to help the younger generation, and I want to see how can I hook their attention. So, with the young guys, it's just like me when I was young. People used to give us advice, but when we look at them, we're like, you can't relate to us. You don't know what I've been through, and so we wouldn't even really accept whatever it is they was trying to say. So since I walk that path, then my goal is that I can reach a few of the younger generation. So let's have a little fun with it. All right, here we go. I hit Psalm 4 for a black tie. I got the personal invite from the rabbi. Quick flight for the spiritual retreat. Now it's Shabbat dinner at the presidential suite. How you so conscious? Ain't he from the street? I had holes in my shoes. Now it's Dior's on my feet. I grew up a scholar. I was vicious with the books, but I had no father. I was raised by the crooks. I learned the game at a very young age. It's survival of the fittest when you grow up in the cage. I was hurt inside. I didn't know what to do. To make matters worse, they killed my brother Pooh. From dirt road to rodeo, I'm just telling my story. I didn't do it on my own. To God be the glory. Maybe this must stop. To God be the glory. I'm a spiritual gangster. Now open your mind. There's no coincidence. It's all by design. In a world full of lies, they really hate the truth. My mission is different. I elevate the youth. I manifest greatness. My daughter is proof. My greatest creation. Life is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. So what I'm doing, I'm making an album. It's called Street Poetry, and I want to kind of tell my story and kind of see if I can make it cool at the same time. This is the first poem that I did right here. I was too nervous to speak, so I never spoke a word. But now I get paid to speak, and I do spoken word. And when the words I spoke was heard, they was hot without smoke and herb. Because you know, my flow's superb, and I know the God I'm supposed to serve. So when I see y'all putting faith in the system, I find it absurd. Fake news, a tool they use to deceive you. Open your mind. Don't let them mislead you. I never let them trick HK. I'm the Black Sinatra. I did it my way. What can I say? You never catch me on the family stress, because I live in the world that I manifest. So when I say dirt road to rodeo, I'm just being honest. The plain Jane rolling, I'm just being modest. You can catch me in New York reciting the scripture, the only melanated person invited to the bar mitzvah. They ask about the past, I keep it a secret. But when it comes to the truth, I gotta speak it. I don't follow challenges or foolish trends. And I had the newest bins before I had Jewish friends. I'm from an era where we didn't take pictures. So every word I speak, you gotta take it as scripture. We didn't let the camera get too close to us. My brother got killed, so I got rich for the both of us. Thank you. You got something you want to say? You want to say bye? Thank you.
Bye, and thank you for letting my father do all this, including me. It's a big moment for us.
It is a very big moment for us. Because just like the gentleman said, I was here. If nothing else, we just want to keep swinging and keep going, and that's why I don't stop till the casket drop. Every day we're going to keep going. And thank you for giving me the strength to face my fears and to step up. 7 years ago when I had her, I thought I had to teach her, but she came to teach me so many lessons about life. Hey, you know, baby Lay, I love you with all my heart, and this is what I want to tell you. You can do anything in this world that you set your mind to, but guess what?
What?
You gotta believe it. Do you believe it?
Yes!
Yes what?
Yes, of course, Daddy!
Yes, of course you believe it?
Yes!
Okay, Because you got a power deep inside of you. And you got to stay happy, and you got to believe you can accomplish anything you want in this world. Now tell the people who you are. Who are you?
My name is Baby Late, but my friends call me Layla. They say I'm real cool, so I'm like a player. Education first, so I'm all about the books. You know I got the brains, and of course I got the looks. You gotta dream big and chase your goals. Learn to go through the highs and lows.
With all that you've been through and all the wisdom that you've gained, what would you tell your younger self?
What would I tell my younger self?
Yep.
I would tell my younger self that you are loved. As a child, I didn't feel loved. And when you don't feel like you're loved, you might put yourself in certain compromising situations. And it didn't, and until I found self-love, that's when I began to find myself, and I had to tell myself that I am enough. So when I talk to people about Dirt Road to Rodeo and talk about this positivity, this is something that I had to do every day, that I literally had to fight through the own negative voices. And the more you hear about my childhood and the way I grew up, the more you'll understand. And even the reason I named the song The Gangster Mentality. Why? Gangsters fight, right? So it's a fight every day for this positivity and for me to connect to the positive voice and not the negative voices. And since all of this happened in childhood before the age of 7, we know the subconscious mind is being formed then. That's when all these programs are actually that's when you're actually being programmed. We know that up until the age of 7, the subconscious mind is being formed. So basically, I had to fight through a lot of programs. And so that's why, and my mission when I was young, I wanted some help, and I couldn't get the help. So I said, I will be to the world what I want. And that's what I'm trying to do now, and that's why my mission is to help as many, kids as possible by actually teaching them who they are. And all throughout history, what do they tell us? Know thyself. We got to know who we truly are.
Wow. Super powerful.
It's only one way to win. You got to get comfortable with failure. Yeah, that's right. You're going to have to fail your way to success. You're going to fail so many times. The question is, can you keep going in spite of the failures? We got to understand. It is through failures that we learn life's greatest lessons. Without failure, there's no growth. Fail your way to success. You only fail when you quit. We never fail because we don't quit. We don't quit. We don't quit. We never fail because we don't quit. You only fail when you quit. We never fail because we don't quit. 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 We never fail because we don't quit. We don't quit. You know how many times I failed? I can't even count it, but guess what? I keep going no matter what. Because a true failure is when you quit. You gotta understand, failure is not you, it's an event. Each failure is a teachable moment. We never fail because we learn. But what we don't do is quit. We fail our way to success. The most successful people you know have failed so many times, over and over and over. And guess what? That's why they win, because they failed. Embrace the failure. You only fail when you quit. We never fail